Hi, it's Jez here from Nigezza.co.uk. Thank you for joining me today. So I thought I'd do a one sheet wonder. Not done one for ages. I've got the Rings of Love DSP. This is the one that's free with a £45 order during celebration. And it's got this sheet here with, well, I think they look like poinsettias. So I thought they would make a good Christmas one. The other side is like these tree trunks. Then we've got some toadstools and butterflies and things. I thought I could make some tags for journals out of those. The other side of that are these rings, tree rings. Then we've got all these houses, and the other side of this, I've muddled this up for some reason, I think probably because I put it together thinking that'll look nice. I love that side. So yeah, glad I got two sheets. Then we've got this beautiful bird, which I thought would definitely look good in some of my journals, and it would go nice with the tree bit, I thought, possibly. And the other side of this is that beautiful wash, which would go nice with that in some way. Then we've got this leafy wash and the acorns there. So very sort of autumnal, fall themed. And then we've got these pretty flowers and then this check on the other side. So yeah, quite some nice different sort of papers. But this was what I thought would work well for Crimbo. So, one sheet wonder, cut a sheet up, make as many cards, or I've done tags and things out of it. So, yeah, I thought I'd grab my Christmas stamp sets that I've got and have a look at the sentiment. So I've got Trees for Sale, and we have Christmas greetings. I could split it up and put Merry Christmas there quite easily. The penguin one, we've got Season's Greetings. Snow flurry one, we've got Joyful Wishes. It's the Season of Magic and Wonder. A nice little Happy Christmas. Let It Sow, just not appropriate. Sending you the best this new year. It's not really Christmas, is it? But I do like that little Happy Christmas. And then this one, we've got May it be yours this holiday season. May it be yours this holiday season. Not quite sure. Oh, whatever brings you happiness, may it be yours this holiday season. I see they two go together. So it's so hot, I can't think properly. So I've got Merry Christmas and Happy Christmas. I like them. So yeah. So what I thought was I'd stamp a few sentiments so that I can make me one sheet wonder, but have different sentiments going on. That was the thought. So I thought I'd just make it up as I go along. That's what I thought. So if I'm going to make this as, I think it's quite directional. So I might do, I'm going to cut it so it's a card mat size. So I'm going to cut this at 3 7/8. So that would be a portrait one. Then I might cut down there at 5 5/8. That would give us landscape. And then, so I'd get 2 that way, 3 that way. And then we've got this long strip here, which measures, can't see, measures 2.5 inches. That's not bad for a strip. I can cut this however I wanted. I could even do a Christmas themed tag out of this. I could do 2.5 and then I've got a square, haven't I? That might look cool. 2.5 by 2.5. we've got a square. Let's cut another square. 2 squares. Quite like the idea of them overlapping. Done that before on a card. And then what have we got left? 7 inches. Shall I do 2 3.5s? Right, so we've got them. Let's cut these down to the mat size. So 3 7/8. So that would just be fully on a card. Let's do 2 of those. 3 of those. And then we've got a tiny little strip left. Tiny strip. And then we'll cut this 5 5/8. I'm going that way. 5 5/8. Going that way, and we have another strip. So that is the card mats sorted. Yeah, they're going that way, aren't they? And they're going that way. So 1 2 3 4 5. That's going to be, going to put those together. That's going to be 6. I'll use these on their own. 7 8. Not quite sure if I'll use those, to be honest. So I'm going to get my card blanks, and then we'll carry on. So I've got my blanks, and I got some Evening Evergreen, because that's the colour of the leaves, and I got a few dies to get me thinking about things. In my scrap pack, I did already have a stitch rectangle and a scallop sketched rectangle. That's a new thing. So I had some thoughts at things I might do. So yeah, so I've got these like that. I went for very vanilla because it's more very vanilla there in the background. I did think afterwards maybe I should have matted it in the darker green. Might have looked a bit better, but I've done it now. So, well, I could trim them down. That would be possible, and I might do that on some. But then I thought, right, so I've got that and I've got this. I could cut a smaller rectangle out of that and stick it on the top. Give you a little bit of a layering going on there. That might look good. 'Twas a thought. And I've got this frame here, which I thought might look pretty good. Just a random frame there, framing those poinsettias, and then just put a sentiment across there. That would be quite nice. So I quite like the fact that I had these things to start me thinking about some ideas that I might do. So I'm going to, the jury's still out on what to do with these little scrappy bits that I cut. I'm gonna, I think, stamp some sentiments. I'm gonna do some in Evening Evergreen, and I might do some in Poppy Parade, those being the 2 colours. So I'll get them done. I'll just speed it up whilst I'm doing those. So I've had a little play, and I've sorted my cards out. So I've got these 2 strips left over. Not really sure I'm going to do anything with that. I decided to see if the rectangle postage stamp would cut it out. It did. Then I decided not to use it. And I used the double oval punch there to give me a happy Christmas. I decided not to use that. So they're going in my little scrap pile. But this is what I've done. They're not stuck together yet. So this one simply, I took the full pattern, that I found in my little scrap bag, and then just simple happy Christmas. So I was using the stitch rectangle dies to cut these out, and then I remembered in the actual set die set designed to go with the stamp set, lo and behold, they have dies that cut these sentiments out. Who would have thunk it, eh? What am I like? So yeah, so that gives a nice little, I just thought that was quite nice and simple. So it frames a little bit there of the lovely DSP and then simply put a happy Christmas. Quite liked that simplicity. And then this one, I'd cut this sentiment out with the rectangle dies before I discovered the slanty ones, but this allows me to get a frame. So I've got the frame around that, which I like the look of. And then I felt it needed something behind, so I used the bow punch there to punch out these 2 leaves. So I've done one in the evening evergreen and then one in the soft succulent, because it's like a stamped off evening evergreen. So it's a little bit soft succulently. So I thought that was quite nice. I think I had it the other way around, Jez. I'll probably change my mind once again when I stick it down, but that was what I thought there. Then we had the orientation the other way around. So I did the same thing, got myself a frame there, this one that I'd stamped in Poppy Parade, so I used Poppy Parade there for the cardstock. I did cut a leaf and then I felt it needed a flower. Now there is a stamp set that goes with this, a stamp and die set that matches this paper, which I don't have. And I think I could have stamped the poinsettia. I think it's towards the back. It's got multiple sentiments on it, so I did actually think about it. So yeah, so you've got, this is this excuse me. So this goes with the paper. You can see all the elements that match the paper, and I quite liked it because it had happy anniversary, get well soon, it's got a Merry Christmas, just for you, thinking of you. I thought they were useful. You've got the poinsettia there, so I could have stamped a matching poinsettia. By looks of things, the dies don't cut out the poinsettia. Let me just have a little zoom in with my glasses. No, it doesn't look like it. It looks like it cuts out acorns and leaves, but I think they're actually leaves that are in their own right, and it cuts out the rings. It's got an embossing folder as well, so you can emboss the rings of the trees, but I wasn't really that bothered. It's got those acorns. So I was like, well, what else could I do instead? I think it needed a poinsettia. So I made one that was vaguely right. So what I used for that was this in the colour and contour. I stamped it once full strength and then did it a couple of times, not so full strength, and then there's a little die there that cuts it out. But it's designed to be a watercolour, so you cut that out, stamp even that outline over the top. But I didn't want that because it hasn't got outlines on it. And then I used a sponge dauber with crushed curry, which is the same colour, on the inside, and I thought that worked out really quite well for making a poinsettia that was similar. So pop that behind there, and I quite liked the look of that on there. So that's that. Did very similar with this one, except I used Joyful Wishes, and I used the stitch rectangles for that. So I used that one there, fitted that Joyful Wishes quite well, and then I just I stuck it to some Poppy Parade and just trimmed around it, and then stick that on it. I thought that was quite a nice simple little card. And then for this one I think I mentioned it, that it would be quite nice to cut out. So I cut out a layer there, which I've put on the top there. Then I cut another one out because you don't want to waste your cardstock, do you? And I've used that in another card. Nothing's wasted. Nothing's wasted. And then just that simple little Happy Christmas. And those two leaves again, which I quite liked. Quite liked the look of that. I was gonna cut out this so that it was a proper frame, but I decided against it, because if I'd gone slightly out, it would, anyway, yeah, I just didn't. I just thought, no, that it was just, it's too hot for me to think. Too hot for me to think. So on this one, out of the little mat that I've done for that piece of DSP, I used the bow punch, cut the leaves out. So waste not, want not. I have embossed this with the, I don't know what it's called, to be honest. It's the tree bark one. Timber, I think it might be called. Timber embossing folder. Thought that was quite a nice sort of natural look to it. So I've got that cut out with the Snow Flurry dies. I cut out the little one, and so that it can pop out. I think I'm going to cut it in half so it pops out both sides. So rather than mat it, it's just got the impression of a mat. And then put the leaf there, and then I'll have a little bit poking out there as well. So that's what I did. And you know, I liked it so much, did it twice. So it is exactly the same. And look, I'll show you on this one. So my idea is to have a little bit of green poking out both sides, like so. So that's what we're doing with that one. And then we have the two squares, and I was going to use them on a single card, but I decided not to. So that was the rectangle that was left over from cutting it out the frame. I've used the same timber embossing folder on that. Just plonk the square in the middle, and then I got a little Happy Christmas there. And then from cutting out with the bow punch, you get that second little bit of foliage. For simples like that. And then I did the same with this one, except I did the Joyful Wishes. So that's 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. So 9 cards there. So I'm just going to stick them all together and show you how they all look in the end. Okay, so I've finished the cards. So that's the first one. I've kept it flat. I didn't pop anything up. To be honest, I didn't think about it when I was first doing it. So that's that one. Can you see the embossing? And then that one, very similar, just with a smaller sentiment. And then I did that one. Again, I kept it flat, and it was after I did this one that I thought, oh, actually, that'd be quite nice if that was popped up. I have sort of curled the, well, not curled, but, you know, poked the leaf round there a bit, which I like. So I was like, how can I do that if I pop it up? But I managed. So what I did was I cut these in half, stuck them to the back, used a ruler to get them straight. Then I stuck these in, and then I poked this behind, and then I just popped that one little leaf up on a dimensional so that it poked around, although it's kind of falling out a bit now, but it did poke around. So I do prefer it popped up. So then when I did all the others, I did do some popping up. So done that one, and I've just popped up the sentiment there. This one, well, there's two like this with the separate frame. So what I had to do was, I don't know if you can see under there, just about, I had to cut the big rectangle and then stick these two to the big rectangle so that that could be popped up. Otherwise it would have been difficult because they're two separate things. So that's what I did with that one there. That was quite simple, just popped up that, and we did that one, and then that one I did the same, cut us another rectangle there to stick it down. So that is all my cards, my one sheet wonder there. Oh, I like the way that looks. There we go. Oops, that's the other way around. So yeah, I enjoyed that. Long time since I've done a one sheet wonder, and there I've got lots and lots of Christmas cards now ready for cooler weather. It's so hot. It is so hot. It's like 38 degrees or 100. I think it's going to 101. It's just so hot. I'm not usually hot in my house. Yesterday we managed to stay quite cool, but today is even hotter and I'm hot. So there, I'm going to go and stand with my freezer door open and just stand there. I've got an American fridge freezer, so I can stand there head to toe, cold air coming out. So I am going to go and do that. But yeah, there's my cards. So 2, 4, 6, 8, 9. 9 cards, one sheet wonder. Hope you like that. All the details and close-ups will be over on nigezza.co.uk, and I'll link down below to all the products, and this paper's free with a £45 spend during July and August. Okay, bye for now.